Hey there, today I'm going to be talking to you about a mistake you must not make as an artist when you're working on a piece. And you can watch me work on a painting of Logain. But before I get into the video, I just wanted to ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you like my content, please subscribe. If you hit the bell icon, you will be notified every time that my stuff goes live. I also am on Patreon if you'd like to be a part of that process and get early access to my videos and a discount on my Etsy store. Please go check that out on patreon.com. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about something I've been thinking about in regards to the practice of creating art. And you can listen to me while you watch this process of me painting Logain Ablar from the upcoming TV series Wheel of Time. So this piece in particular, towards the end of it, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. I know for myself it's something that I've struggled with in my practice, and it's something that I was kind of inspired into thinking about recently as I listened to a video by JESPER, who is a tremendous contemporary fantasy artist. He does a lot of work for Magic the Gathering. I will put a link here to a video where you can see his work. At any rate, he was talking to CHIU about his practice and his work, and he was talking about how in the early stages of his work he spent 7 years trying to get his work in front of potential buyers for it, and into basically trying to get into the practice of creating professional work in different types of fantasy art. And for 7 years he would take his portfolio places and try to show it to people, and he was rejected, and he said basically during that time he was just trying to develop his skills. And how he did that was he kind of looked at it from the perspective of adding an extra 10% every time he created something. And so I've been trying to think of that lately as I've been creating my work. This piece in particular, as I was working on it, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with the background, and for a while I was just kind of thinking I would leave it wide open and just focus on the figure. But in the end I decided to try to invest some time into researching a little bit about the Black Tower, about Logain Ablar, and about I don't know, symbolism, I guess, associated with the character and his relationship to the story in the Wheel of Time. I didn't find anything super specific to him. There is a vision that one of the characters in the book has around him, which involves a halo. And a lot of the paintings that I've seen of Logain online incorporate that sort of glow around his head. And it's something that I did kind of on the other piece that I did of Logain recently. The other commission piece that I did, I kind of had a halo around his head. And I wanted to sort of incorporate that, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't so blatant and maybe a little more subtle, which is when I kind of came to this idea. So I kind of see Logain as a protector, and I thought of like a big, firm, solid wall behind him, and then the graffiti of the dragon on the wall I thought would be kind of cool, just giving that indication that he is basically protecting and serving the Lord Dragon, Lansdell. And so that's where that symbolism came from. And I think what I want to talk about with the 10% is I was going to just leave the background blank, but I decided to kind of push it and to create something more interesting with the piece. And I think the piece is so much better for it. Sorry, my dog is drinking water. You can probably hear her in the background. Weird. Awkward. Anyways, so I really wanted to push myself, and in doing so, the piece I think is better for it. So I think as artists, we sometimes tend to take the easy way out, or we just want to get something finished and out there. And especially in this day and age of social media, there's a bit of pressure to get things finished and out, because there's a sort of this consumer mentality of things need to be done quickly, and people want things quickly. And then we kind of, as creators, sort of start to buy into that mentality where we worry a little bit that we're not going to get the audience or the following that we want if we're not doing things quickly or showing enough work quickly enough. But I think it's a risk that we can run, that we might actually hamper the creative process for each piece. And so don't make that mistake. Take the time that you need to create something that you can be proud of and that you think other people will really enjoy. Take the time to push it that extra 10%. I'm working on a piece right now that's like an extra 90% above and beyond what I would normally do. But I guess like the scope of that piece is kind of set now. I'm working on a piece right now that is 90% more than what I would normally do for a project. It's a very ambitious piece. But what I know is that as I work on it, I have to think about how I can push that piece in and of itself an extra 10% as I work through it. Now I have the general scope worked out and I understand what I'm getting myself into in terms of work. So as I work on it, I need to think about what can I do to improve this? What can I do to push this an extra 10%? My experience, it's been more often than not kind of at the end of a project where I start to evaluate what can I do to push this an extra 10% or make this just a little bit better. But that it could really take place at any stage of the process. You could take an extra 10% effort and apply it to looking for appropriate photo reference for a piece. Or you could take an extra 10% effort and apply it to your composition thumbnails or your sketches for the piece, so that you know that your piece is going to be set up well to succeed as you move forward. Or you could just spend an extra 10% effort on rendering and just trying to figure out how your brush strokes and how your lighting and development of the form is looking. There's a lot of aspects to a project, to any individual piece, that you could apply this sort of, I guess, philosophy to. So I'm going to be working on a commission piece that's really intense, and I hope to get that done soon. And I hope that you guys take the time. You don't feel the pressure that can come through social media, where we feel like we have to create things and crank them out just to get things done and make ends meet and to appease our audiences. There's that sort of weird pressure that comes through social media these days, where you feel like you have to do stuff quickly, and we can sometimes skip stages and not take the extra time to put in the 10% that we would need to make a piece the best it can be. So I hope that you don't feel that pressure, and I hope you just kind of focus down on your work and think about how you can grow. And if you're not an artist, think about how you could apply this to other areas of your life, because I'm sure there's areas that this could apply in outside of the creative practice. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed watching this process, and until next time, be good to each other. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more content, please click one of the videos on the screen. If you'd like to be notified when all my videos go up, please click the bell icon. And if you'd like to follow me on social medias, you can find me on patreon.com/Corey Lansdell. I'm at Corey Lansdell on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook as well. Until next time, you guys, be good to each other.